just seeing the Inoue versus Donaire 2 news, and Donaire, the balls on this guy, just incredible. And shout out to, and rest in peace to 916 Chris, back when I was very active on my old Twitter and YouTube accounts. He was the first one to, and he was a real one, he was the first one to put me on the Japanese fight scene. And he opened my eyes to boxing being bigger than just American boxing. I mentioned that just to say, it's good to see the Japanese fight scene get two super fights that they deserve. Triple G versus Murata, and now Inoue versus Donaire 2. This fight is important for several reasons. Number one, and I'm not going to be able to mention all of them in this short video, but just a few. The first thing that comes to mind is, I've mentioned many times in these videos that these lower weight classes are not designed for aging fighters. They're just not. So it's incredible what Donaire is doing, what Chocolatito is doing. You have a bunch of younger, high output fighters in these lower weight classes. So for Donaire to still be competitive in this division is phenomenal. And just him taking this fight with Inoue at this point in his career, this second fight, adds to his already future first ballot Hall of Fame career, in my opinion. Just taking it, win or lose. The balls on this guy. And another reason it's important is because it's a rematch that makes sense, right? The first one was competitive. Donaire was written off as an aging fighter after, but then he comes back and wins a legitimate championship in the weight class. So now you have a unification fight in the weight class between two guys with names. It makes sense also because Inoue is a guy who didn't have a hot 2021, so this gives him a name. In 2022, it gives him back on the main scene. And it has pound for pound implications. If Donaire were somehow to win this fight, suddenly you have a guy 40 or pushing 40 in the top 10 pound for pound again. For Inoue, he's a guy who is in that top 4, but many people see him as number 4 behind guys like Canelo, Crawford, Usyk. If he wins this fight, maybe bump him up to 3, 2.